Right. So this is about the Guidewire Associate, right? So because many people who are uh, planning to transform their career in the field of Guideware, either it can be a business analyst role, or it can be a developer role, or a tester role, or that. It's always important for us to understand about one of the basic certification is called Guidewire Associate. This Guidewire Associate is a kind of role normally in the field of industry where majorly works with different developing team, business analyst team, testing team, all that. So these Guideware associates are the who works with the Guideware platform, especially people who are in the early stages of the Guideware career, wherein they will be interacting, as I stated earlier, they will be interacting and associating with all the roles like business analyst people, right? So who gather the requirements, preparing some documents and all, and associating with even development team who focuses more on the configuration and integration side. At the same time, even for testing people, right? So either whoever do the UI testing or performance testing, all that. Basically, this Guideware associated role majorly involving few things. One is about understanding over the development part. Because if you want to be a developer, a full-fledged developer, then that's a different thing. But as a Guideware associate, when we are moving into the career of Guideware, this role majorly involves in developing some customizing and maintaining some Guideware software for any of the insurance company. Either the company is planning to move towards the Guideware or they were using Guideware application already. So this role majorly involving in participating in development, customizations, maintaining of Guideware software. But as a Guideware associate learner, right? So if you want to become a Guideware associate, what are the key aspects that I want to learn, right? So because many people will have a doubt, right? So what kind of knowledge do I want to acquire? What are the key aspects that are involved in it? First, to want to become an associate, first of all, you need to have a detailed understanding about insurance sector. I'm talking about property and casualty insurance sector, how it functions, how it works, what are the different business areas they have, right? So followed by the kind of line of businesses they are involved in. So understanding over the insurance sector, a person coming from an insurance background, it's different, right? Property and casualty insurance, but a person doesn't have knowledge over the PNC insurance, right? So these people should have a detailed understanding over this. This is point number one. Understanding over the insurance sector, how it functions, how it works. It has nothing to do with Guideware. It is to do with business, right? So you need to know that. Second, you have a knowledge over the Guideware ecosystem, followed by the kind of core components which are involved in it on a high level note. Because now we are moving from, some companies are transforming from old legacy systems to new Guideware application. Either it can be policy center, billing, or claims, any one, two, or three of their choice. So understanding the Guideware ecosystem followed by the core components is also one of the key aspects one to be learned with. Followed by architecture, Guideware architecture. And what are the different features do we have in Guideware architecture and all that. Next, to have some high-level understanding over three different modules. Either it can be policy center, billing, and claims. Because policy center majorly works as a policy administration unit. If any insurance company wants to create any policies or cancellations, renewals, reinsurance, everything can be done under policy administration, including defining underwriting rules, all these. Billing center, majorly whatever the premiums, renewals, commissions for the agents and brokers, producers. So this is all about the billing center part. Claim center part, managing the claims, receivables, claim adjudication, claim settlements, everything will be part of claim center. So understanding over the high level user interface knowledge. I always say that understanding the user interface or functional knowledge over PC, BCCC is required. Next, as a associate, we must have some knowledge over developing some new features, either from the scratch. For example, an organization, an insurance company is in an LOB, expertise in the LOB called commercial vehicle. Now they wants to enter into a new line of business called commercial property or workers' compensation or inland marine, or it can be home insurance, right? So they want to start or they want to create a product from what we call that, create a product for a new line of business they were entering in. So for that, what are the required features that are needed? So that is where generally development will be focused, because BAs will identify the features. As a business analyst, we identify the features, all that. Whatever the features that we documented, a developer will write the code for that, right? So developing new features, understanding over the new features is also one of the core responsibility as a Guidewire associate. We must be knowledgeable with. Next, customization. Customization means assume that insurance company is using a Guidewire application. Either it can be policy center or billing or claims. They may require to make some changes on the existing one. That's what we call it as configuration, to make it very simple. Means making any changes on the user interface design, or if they want to add some new entities to the existing ones. This is all about the customization. Means existing one, you are making some necessary changes. Some kind of understanding or customization is always required for a associate level. If you want to be a developer, then deep understanding over the configuration, deep understanding over integration is required. But as an associate, need to have this understanding to beginning to start with, right? So developing new features. At the same time, customizing the existing ones, understanding the integration, because integration where either it can be one-to-one or one-to-many integrations to be done, right? So policy center to billing claims or any external CRM or ERP applications, or it can be any underwriting systems, third-party underwriting systems. So understanding the integration framework, understanding the integration is also needed. Followed by that, how to troubleshoot any issues that we come across, which is a continuous process, right? So if there are any issues that we come across, how this can be troubleshooted. Any new implementation that we are doing, right? So understanding the implementation updates, how this can be implemented. Followed by performance. That's where non-functionality come into picture, right? So we need to optimize the performance of the application. Maintaining maintainability, scalability, reachability, availability, performance, non-functional requirements, optimizing the performance, because if application is not performing well, what it requires, then there will be no value in developing an application or using the application. So implementing, it's not only the updates, but must make sure optimizing performance. So for that, what kind of measures that are to be taken? That is even important, right? So how to optimize the performances? Because normally we gather these requirements from the business analyst team, because apart from the functional requirements, non-functional requirements will be given by the BA. Based upon that, we have some design team, we have architect team who will be preparing some system design there. Based upon the non-functional requirements, means non-functional means how the system should perform, how the system should behave, act, respond, accuracy, right? So that generally those requirements will be taken, and system design team will create some high-level designs first. High-level designs, what are the core components? As I told you, for example, there were some core components and Guidewire we have taken. What are those core components and how are these core components were interconnected? This is all about the high-level designs part. Low-level designs means to develop these core components, what are the different program or logic or the code that we are writing? What algorithms that we are using, what data structures that we use in this, right? So what are the design patterns that we are using? This is all about the low-level design. So from that, what kind of architectural style that we are using to implement a particular product, new product you are developing, what kind of architectural style? It can be monolithic architectural style. Earlier we used to, now we are using microservices or event-driven architecture. So optimizing the performance, there is a backend thing, right? So where you need to understand the whole system of it. Because if you want to optimize the performance of the application, understanding about the system design is needed. There are architect roles or the system design roles who will be doing this. But optimizing the performance is also one of the key element, a key aspect for a Guidewire associate one should be good with. Next, I don't say last but not least, like basic programming understanding experience on Java and Gosu is preferable. That is what something you must be good and uh, you must be knowledgeable with. Because when we are interacting with the development team, when we are interacting with development team in form of configurations or customizations, so we must be knowing about the basics of Java programming. If you are coming from the programming background, that is different. Okay, that is different. Or else, if you are knowing about basics of Java programming, Gosu programming is always required because when we are interacting with the development team, that is required even. At the same time, knowing about some database knowledge is also needed. So these are the key aspects when it comes to uh, the role of a Guidewire associate. One must be good with. So this is majorly for the people who are looking for Guidewire career on the early stages of Guidewire career. So these are the key aspects which one must be knowledgeable to. That is what something that you will be learning in this.